Yet another beautiful day in the city of Lagos, and you're watching Meet the Boss, brought to you by ConnectNigeria.com. I still remain your humble host, William Uzoma, and today, yet again, we shall be playing around the financial sector. The financial sector in Nigeria, no doubt, is one that has evolved every now and then, with different players coming up with some innovative ways of making banking as flexible as possible. Today on the program, my guest is one individual and brand that you can call them a new player in the sector, but they came up with some very innovative ideas that can help banking seem seamless as possible. Who might I be talking about? Well, sit back, relax. After this timeout, I shall be unveiling who my guest today is. You're watching Meet the Boss. We shall be right back.
Looking for a business? Log on to ConnectNigeria.com.
Welcome back to the show, Meet the Boss, brought to you by ConnectNigeria.com. I did tell you before that short break that today we shall again be playing around the financial sector here in Nigeria. And my guest today is no other person than the founder, CEO, MD, whatever title you might want to call him, in person of Mr. Uzoma Dozie. Sir, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me on the show.
We're happy to finally have tracked you down. I remember for some time now, I've been telling my crew that there's one individual that I would like to track. Even my executive producer keeps saying, "Why not get this guy on the show?" And so we're very excited to finally have.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah? Great.
It's a privilege.
Mr. Uzo, customary with this show, we like starting the show by allowing the guest to introduce himself or herself formally to the viewers back home. So let's start in that same light. Can you please tell the viewers back who Mr. Uzoma Dozie is?
Well, very simply, I'm Uzoma Dozie. From a professional career, I've been in banking, so to speak, for the last 25 years. Wow. Why it sounds so long, exactly. When I think about it, I shudder.
It is long.
25 years, but I then spent 4 of that as the MD of Diamond Bank before we merged with Access to create the largest bank by number of customers in Africa. So that was a nice way to live that type of business and pursue something else that I will still continue what I was doing, but in a way that will be more beneficial and more impactful. And I'm sure we'll talk about that later. Everything has always been accidental, but when you think about it, is it really accidental? I did chemistry, and I did chemistry at university. I had a master's in chemistry as well, and didn't know what I wanted to do, but came back to Nigeria, did my youth service in Guarantee Trust Bank for a year, and really found it interesting. I really found it interesting in terms of what banking really was and how it helped and played a role in the market, and then moved from there and moved to another bank called Citizen Bank. Then it's now merged to become, I can't even remember which bank it merged with. Yeah, something like that. And then finally moved into Diamond Bank. And then in Diamond Bank, I was fortunate to work in many areas, and that's one of the things that about banking. Every department is different, with different skill sets, with different requirements. Sure. So working in financial control, in corporate banking, in retail bank, starting the retail banking, playing a role in branding and the branding and rebranding of the organization, raising money. You develop some skills you don't know that you have, but become important or beneficial much later on.
That's a great background you just gave. Now, tell us, Uzo, at what point, having risen to the pinnacle of being the MD of a well-known commercial bank in Nigeria, which you mentioned earlier, Diamond Bank, the minute you decided to try something new, one would have wondered, what is he going to do? So at what point did you decide, or did you tell yourself that, wait a minute, maybe with your crew and your personal allies, you told them, look, I'm still going to play around this sector? and this is the name I'm going to adapt. At what point did you decide that, and why the name Sparkle?
Interesting question. Now, when was that click moment? That click moment was always there, because there were three areas we were working in. First, it was the retail space, but then again, it was also financial inclusion, trying to bring inclusion to that part of that bottom of the pyramid, and we had some great successes there, and on the individual and the business side. On the individual side, we collaborated with MTN to create Diamond Yellow, which allowed people to open bank accounts on their mobile phones, and they didn't need the data. And the beauty about it, and the selling point was, it wasn't about mobile money. Mobile money restricted who you can receive and send money to. This was a full banking account, so we democratized account opening. So with your dumb phone in a village somewhere, you could dial star 710 hash, and you could open a bank account that allowed people to send money to you, and you to send money to anyone in Nigeria, as long as they had a bank account. On the small business side, we took banking to the marketplace. Now in the marketplace, you see all these market people who don't have time to go to a bank.
True.
They will never have time to go to a bank. They don't understand it. It's costly. It is costly from a time and finance perspective. They don't want to understand it, and they rely on a very risky adjust system, a guy that they give the money to and then hope that he gets it back, and they're actually paying him to keep it. And for us, it was very simple. And we didn't work with bankers. We worked with an organization called the Women's World Banking, who are focused on financial inclusion for women. And so we came with a new solution called Better Banking, and basically the name was Better, as in better life, better way of doing things. And we got some advocates in the area, developed the solution, got people to help us meet the decision makers in those communities, to explain to them, to test it and everything. And it was a roaring success, because it was very simple, based on their existing infrastructure. They had a mobile phone, and the adoption was very, very easy, because what did Ajo do? So what they did was, every so often they would go around the market, collect the money, and then they would see the notification and stuff like that. So it was instant, they were sure. And we have some great transformative stories. And also, anybody who had seen any emails from me, from the onset, my sign up has always been keep sparkling, way before.
Okay.
It was keep sparkling, because what do diamonds do? Diamonds sparkle. Yes. And so when we thought about what is the next evolution of Diamond Bank, it would have to be sparkle. It had to be digital. And digital is, while a diamond is physical, which represents the traditional, the branch that what we built, the sparkle is the mobile part of it. Sparkles are mobile, they're agile, and that was how the name Sparkle came. So like he says, when we concluded the merger with Access Bank, I knew exactly what I was going to do. I knew, first of all, it's going to be digital, because I knew that digital will allow us to do so much more for people from an individual perspective. I knew that it would do so much more for businesses, and I knew that just financial services was not it, and just financial services wasn't it for individuals. I also knew that it wasn't about banking, but working with different types of people. Most of the innovation that we had achieved in Diamond Bank that had transformed people's lives didn't come from just bankers creating products. It came from different people from different areas. I work with Women's World Banking, I work with the telco, MTN, I work with the IFC, who brought different people from parts of the world to come up with solutions that would help people, that will help us reach people that were not reachable before, and provide services that were the preserve of a few before. A bank account before was, I remember to open a bank account, you went to the bank, you saw my father-in-law tells me how he would put on his best suit and to go and see the bank. The bank today, it's a commodity. Yes. And even for Sparkle, I mean, people ask me what Sparkle is, and the last thing I want to say is it's a digital bank, because banking is a commodity. Like how you use that, how you use payment systems to transform people, to help people live the lifestyle that they want, or run the business. Because what is a business they want? That is what I wanted to do. Today, small businesses, it's hard being a small business because I started a small business, and small business not about and small businesses. Why do people start businesses? They fundamentally start a business because they see a gap, and they want to fill it. They actually want to help. So for me, it was, why can't it be easy? Right? Why can't we use digital to make it easy? And for a small business, so we have a roadmap how we want to help small businesses. So for Sparkle, where we want to go to is, somebody wakes up in the morning and says, I want to help, I want to start a business. He should think of Sparkle. He should go to Sparkle and say, okay, what name do I want to call it? Things Fall Apart Incorporated. And then he searches, and if the name is there, then what is the next step? Then he registers it. Then he gets, I need to be socially included, I need to be compliant. He gets his tax number because he can't open a bank account. And then he opens a Sparkle account, and then he's connected to a market. That is what it is. And you haven't stepped out of your room. You haven't
your
safety of environment. And those are the kind of things, that's what we're building.
It's interesting because the way you've been analyzing and explaining everything, you're gradually just interwoven all my questions.
Yes.
But I still need to ask this at this point.
Sure.
What are the core services of Sparkle as a brand? What would you like to the average layman out there? What are the services that Sparkle renders?
Okay.
And who would you call your core target audience first before the general society?
Okay. We've launched with a minimum viable product, which allows people to open a bank account if they have a BVN, to receive money, to pay money, to also buy airtime, pay their utility bills, and all that. It also allows, but when we take payments now, so that's our minimum viable product, and I would say that's probably about 30% of what we're going to roll out with in the next 12 months. In 8 weeks' time, our business solution is going to come out for business people to open accounts, as I've explained. Now, what we have now, from a payment perspective, so when I receive money and I want to make the service that we have, so we have, let me call it 4 things that I really like. One is called, on the saving side, Stash. So Stash allows you to save anyhow you like. So
the name implies,
stash it away. Okay. Yeah? That's why it was called Stash. And like, how do people save? People move money manually, or they can have a recurring payment, and it is standardized. But in Sparkle, we built it around the customer. How do you want to do it? I'm not going to restrict you to once a month or whatever. I'm going to allow you to do it anyhow you like. So I want to save 1,000 naira every day, you can do it. 1,000 every month, you can do it. I want to take a percentage every time I spend something. I want 1% off, self-tight myself and put it away. So that's one. Then you have things like request money. And request money is interesting. Now, request money is based on these user experiences. I send my driver to go and buy petrol, for example, or go to a shop to buy something for me. I don't know the price. So he goes there, he talks to the person says it's 25,000 naira. He now chats me or disturbs me or calls me and says it's 25,000 naira, or sends me a message. Then I open my mobile my banking application, and I go to his name and send him 25,000 naira. See that process? With Sparkle, go to the shop and find out how much that is. He goes to the shop, finds out how much it is, and he requests 25,000 naira from me, and he tells me, he gives a small note. I see a notification. XY is requesting 25,000 naira. I press OK, put my password or use my biometric. The money has gone to him. We have shortened that whole process, and there are many things. My personal assistant, every time, like maybe she pays a bill or she wants to pay a bill, I just see a request money, and so it's not. So we have cut out a lot of communication along the line.
So who would you say are your core clientele?
First, I call clientele. So let me say, a clientele.
We're talking tech.
Yeah,
This is technology.
Yeah, but this is the use of using technology to make daily life simple. Not interested. I'm not interested, and never. People are not interested in technology. They just want, what do you want to do today? I want to be happy, right?
True.
So we're looking for people. One. So who are the people? The people who already use digital in their life and want more. Who are those people? People that are social on Twitter. For example, let's take Twitter, let's say Facebook. How can we connect that? People that are already using Instagram to run their business, to advertise their business. We have millions of them, especially women. We're really focused on women and women businesses as well, because they're actually one of the biggest users of tech. And that's what the users of tech. We're focused on small businesses that are already using technology to drive their business. I already not going the traditional way of saying, okay, I want to start a business today. Before, 10 years ago, you want to start a business, where's your business address?
Where's your business address?
Where's the phone numbers, the staff, and everything. Today, I can start, I've started a couple of businesses just by sitting down here. What's my registered office? My house. Really and truly, nobody even cares, because one, as COVID has taught us, right, you have to be, people expect to get. My address is not your. My address is not a concern. It's your address and me being able to reach you.
Products, can I get it?
Can I get it? So that whole mindset, and so you need platforms that can connect different platforms together. And so we're not looking at banking. I'm not looking at banking. Banking is beyond. People need more than banking. So businesses need more than banking. So on the business side, we are going to bring solutions that small businesses in the past couldn't access. One, they didn't know what they accessed it. They didn't know it was cost prohibitive, and they didn't even know that they needed it. You know, one of the great Steve Jobs, the iPad, there was no demand for it. Nobody needed it. When it came out, they didn't have, people thought, what do we need this for? But he had an idea of what people would use it for. And we can see now that the iPad is probably the biggest selling computer in the world. And so people sometimes don't know what they need because they haven't experienced it. Many businesses don't know that they need legal services, right? And you will find that most organizations do not understand the importance of their lawyers until the trouble really comes, and know that that lawyer should have even been there right from even business formulation.
Great. That's a very, very insightful information you just gave out. Now, we've come to the midway for today's interview. I still have some few more questions before we call today a wrap. But at this point, we need to go on a short break. Okay. And when we get back, we'll wrap up today's session. Well, viewers, you're still watching Meet the Boss, brought to you by ConnectNigeria.com, and my guest today is no other person than Mr. Uzoma Dozie, the founder, MD, CEO of the wonderful brand called Sparkle. Wow, what a discussion we've been having. Very insightful, very educative, and very eye-opening. When we come back from the short break, we shall delve into some few more questions before we call today's edition a wrap. Please don't go nowhere, we shall be right back.
As a business, getting information about your products and services to the general public is very crucial, especially now that the outbreak of COVID-19 is making working from home the new norm. At ConnectNigeria.com, we can help you advertise online and get the right information about your brand to hundreds of thousands of businesses and individuals on our database, making it possible for you to continue working even from the comfort of your home. Give us a call today on 0800 700 5000 or send us an email, and let us help you stay in business even as you stay safe.
Log on to ConnectNigeria.com.
Welcome back to the show, Meet the Boss, brought to you by ConnectNigeria.com. I still remain your host, William Tuzomba. And man, what a day it's been. My guest today has really shared some beautiful insight as regards to how banking can be better, easy, and more flexible. And I'm talking about Mr. Uzoma Dozie, the founder and the CEO of Sparkle. So, welcome to the second phase of today's interview. Now, before we went on that break, some of the things you said, you did mention our new neighbor and new unwanted friend who's with us, which is, of course, the COVID-19. What's your own personal take as regards to the effect of COVID-19 to the Nigerian economy? And did it in any way shape sparkles mindset in any way?
COVID, I think we started seeing the seriousness of COVID locally and globally around March, because even no country is an island. So
of course,
with China shut down and Nigeria is a big trade player partner with China, it affected, the supply chains and also economic demand. And when we realized that, and of course Nigeria being, I like to call us an internationalized people, people who were coming back were infected with COVID as well, and so we shut down our borders. We had the lockdown for businesses, and that's where. And then of course, because of our infrastructural challenges, and we still have issues about that whole healthcare system, the whole education system, because people are not going to school now. People are not being educated, and these are the backbones of any society: food, agriculture, and all that. Before you now start thinking about the traders and those restaurants. So it had caused a shift completely, and which is what we have been talking about in Nigeria for a very long time. They need to build infrastructure. They need to look at our healthcare system. They need to look at even the curriculum, because the future of work is at threat. They need to look at agriculture and mechanize it or redistribute the economy. Yeah. And so I think what COVID has done, first of all, shut down the system and people, and then really, as I say, enhanced that digital cycle that is required. Yeah. I've always said, and if you look at a few of my media charts or people I've spoken to, the future of Africa is digital, especially Nigeria. We already have millions of people who are using mobile. We've seen a lot of innovations in the banking sector in Nigeria that the UK and America have not caught up with yet. But how do we scale it? How do we really scale it? We need to scale it with infrastructure, with the right governance, the right legislation, and all that. Now, what you've seen are people now, before it was, digital is awareness. Oh, okay, I know what digital is. Appreciation. Okay, my son uses it for school. Adoption. No, I'll continue using the method I'm using. I don't need to change. I'll keep using that paper. Yeah. Now, awareness. Everyone's talking about it. Digital. Adoption. I didn't know that I could do this, right? Appreciation. I didn't know I could do this. And adoption. There's no choice now. And so, if you're not doing video conferencing before, imagine. And I don't think Lagos. I think places like Lagos it's going to transform Lagos. And so, a meeting in January. People will fly from Ikeja. I'll enter my car, I'll go on a 1 hour journey, and then I'll have a 20-minute meeting.
Take another 1 hour.
Take another 1 hour back. They will call you from Abuja, time to fly, airlines. So that cost of just moving around, and this is just creating chaos and disruptions. And where you could only have 2 meetings a day, today you're having 10, 15. Yeah. People are not going to go back to that old way. Yes. Traffic is going to be less. And so then people are going to be looking at their business model. So then excessiveness is going to come down, because that this has created an economic depression. And so those excessiveness that were not needed are going to come down, because people are going to reevaluate what value is. So I believe that value system is going to be, people are going to be looking at, do I need, this holiday? Then when you talk about global movements, today, I think in the UK, if you go to the UK, you have to do 2 weeks quarantine. Self-quarantine, and that means that your minimum stay there is 3 weeks. And then if you come back and then you have to do self-quarantine here, that's 5 weeks. People only have 30 working days.
I ain't gonna do that.
Nobody's going to. So, do you know where the opportunity is? Local tourism. In America, people fly from move from one part, they take a road journey. Yes. And so that's why we're going to have to look at infrastructure. We're going to look at wellness spas and say, okay, you know what? I want to treat myself. Let me just go down to take a road trip. So
ABC.
Thank you very much. Look at it in this nice place where there's greenery. We have a lot of arable land. So that's the future that I see. But it takes people to do it, to say, okay, yes. I know a couple of people who before, if you told me you wanted to do a wellness center, I would think, but now, let's think about it. Let's think about it. Let's think about it. It's a viable. So there are many things that are going to happen. e-commerce is going to flourish because people are not moving. That means logistics. And logistics is different. Logistics for food is different from logistics for security documents like cards, and it's different for just parcels. So opportunities there.
Fantastic. Now, Mr. Uzo, we're coming to the home stretch for today's interview, but I still have some few very essential questions. One being, how do you draw your strength? I mean, your motivations and drive. 25 years and counting in the financial institution. Now this new baby has just started. What propels you? What keeps you going? Where do you draw your motivation and drive?
You know, I like, you know, when I was young, and people keep asking me this question, I know it's always difficult to answer because I think what drives me, I mean, like, okay, maybe it is school fees, but you know, yeah, okay, it is school fees. I have children, so I have to look after them. I have to give them that opportunity. But what keeps me energized and, you know, not thinking that, you know, this is work. This is not work. This is I'm playing it. It's like I said earlier, I want to help. You know, there's nothing like so rewarding when you play a role in transforming somebody's life.
True.
And I learned that at working in financial inclusion, trying to help women, financially included, trying to help even businesses grow. And I even have an angel fund which is we're building, which is built on technology. So, and the whole idea is to try and help small businesses, transform small businesses so they can also have a transformative effect on people. You know, the future of Nigeria is in small businesses like in any other country, because small businesses are the engine of growth. They're the biggest employer of labor. If you take the 40 million registered businesses in Nigeria and you give them, and if 30% of them employ one more person because, you know, they're more resilient, you've partially solved almost the unemployment issue. They stimulate, so if they're producing, they're creating jobs, people are spending, and then you can now produce more, and your economic growth, and that's what America is built on. That's why in the end, everybody is always, you know, buying into the dollar, because it's a country where they produce for their own market. In fact, you can be a very successful business just supplying the American market in America. You can't say, and that's because they have 250 million people. We have that opportunity in Nigeria, and so for me, that's what I see the opportunity. So I'm excited. I see an opportunity. I've done so many things, experienced so many things in Nigeria that you won't be able to experience in another country because they've already done it. The infrastructure is there. I'm playing a role in building a society where people can access credit, but in a way that is much easier than people did it even in the UK, because we have that data. So we have an opportunity to leapfrog, and I'm excited about it, and I want to be at the forefront. And that's what, you know, that's what keeps me going. If there was nothing to do, if there was no challenge, it's a challenge, and it's a challenge. But when you succeed, like when Sparkle started, and you know, you get people tell you that, my God, this is transformative. This is so easy, right? This is going to change my life. Then you are thinking, you can't stop. You can't stop. You can't stop. What else can I do? Who else can I reach?
That's good. Now, Mr. Uzo, mentorship. Did you have any mentors? I mean, there's no way I can finish today's interview without going a bit into your family background.
Sure.
How would you say, because you have an illustrious name, if you don't know that what's in this program, then maybe you'll be living under the rock for some donkey years. How would you say, coming from such a background with an elder statesman like your father, how would you say that in itself has mentored you, you know, into wanting to succeed and change lives with what you do?
I mean, a lot. And then without even, you know, sometimes mentorship is just like living in somebody's footsteps and seeing what they do, and then realize, and then how it forges your life. And like, I have like one live mentor and two dead ones. Like the live, and the live one is my father, and how he brought up his family, and that was how you live, what you do at home, you take to the office, and that's how you want your organization to be as well, because that is where there's trust. That's where there should be transparency. That's where you build the foundation. That's where there should be freedom as well. And that's where there's equality, democratization. And that's what we have in our family. We're a family of 5 boys. I'm the oldest. And my last brother, Chijoke, is 10 years younger. Okay. And we're all on first name terms. For my father, my mother, we've always been like that, because that simplicity of first name term breaks down barriers, makes communication easier. So you can have a conversation and you can do things. Contentment. I mean, I wear jeans and t-shirt, right? And when I was working in my other life, you had to wear that because society deemed it, but it's not really important. You were going to see customers who were wearing what they wanted to do. So that whole freedom of being able to, not by what you wear, but what you say and what you do, that people trust you or you can work together. And we got, if my father gave us money, he would probably, if he gave us a gift, let's say it would be the same for everybody. So there's respect, but there's also equality. So we have the egalitarian spirit and the contentment. Not wanting, being, well, my father is very Catholic and very religious, so it's not about the religion, it's actually about the spirit and actually about the behavior. We're very content. I remember when he was the MD of Diamond Bank, everybody had a Mercedes. He was driving his 505 that he really liked, this leather interior. And he just couldn't understand why people want to change their car. I think I moved from point A to B. And so it's like, it's nice to drive. When I drove my first Mercedes, up like 2 years later, I'm thinking, I can't believe I'm driving this car. I'm still tripped. So I'm tripped about all those things. But if it's not there, it was a great experience. The memory was there, right? So that contentment with my brothers, with my family, and in my existing family, I'm trying to even be more free with my whole family. And that's what Sparkle is about. It's about contentment. It's about freedom. It's about all those things, being simple, breaking down the barriers, making it a Sparkle account. So we don't segment people. Banks unfortunately have to segment people because they have products. So you have a savings account for mass market, you have a current account for mass affluent, then you have a private banking account, and that's how you segment them. In Sparkle, there's one account too. How we segment you is how you want to segment yourself. I want these services, and that's you.
And it's tied to you.
And it's tied to you. And so that whole equality, that you can get the best of services. Digital allows you to get the best of services at your own level, what you quote according to your cloth, but still know that I'm a sparkler. So those are those design thinkings. When I combine Pascal G. Dozie, Steve Jobs, and Alexander the Great, that's the kind of person I want to be. All fused into one.
That's great. That's great. Now, Mr. Uzo, Sparkle, this new baby, 3-5 years from now, where would you want to see Sparkle?
Okay, so Sparkle is a digital platform providing financial, lifestyle, and business support services for consumers, for individuals, and Nigerian businesses and individuals all over the globe. So I want so when I look at the map in 5 years' time of the world, and I know that Nigerians are everywhere in the world, I want Sparkle to be represented by their mobile phone, saying that we are serving Nigerians. There's no country that a Nigerian is in that we are not there.
Okay. We
want to play a role in redefining the small business space so that the percentage of businesses that succeed are much higher, because we have provided a platform that allows them to access essential business services that keeps their business compliant, like taxation, that protects them with things like legal and insurance services that was not accessible before, and also connects them with their customers by giving them insights as to what people are doing and how they can manage their resources to provide those services. And for the individuals, I want us to play a role in helping whoever is on the Sparkle platform is connected not just to a financial app, but their lifestyle app that is informing, providing them with information. As soon as you wake up in the morning, what do you want to do today? And here are some recommendations, because I know you trust me, and you will make my day a more sparkling day with a Sparkle app in my mobile.
Wow. I wouldn't have ended that discussion in a more better note. Uzo, it's been fantastic. It's been fantastic having you on the show today. And we'll continue to monitor the success story of Sparkle, and we'll do well to report on it from time to time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks for having me. It was a great conversation.
Thank you. Well, viewers, you've heard it all from the one and only Mr. Uzoma Dozie, the founder and the CEO of Sparkle. And we've discussed some very beautiful insight as regards to this wonderful brand and the way it's here to change banking and financial wellness as we know it. Remember, you can watch this episode of the program again on our website, www.connectnigeria.com, and you can also watch it on our YouTube page at Connect Nigeria. You can follow us on social media. All the handles remains the same, at Connect Nigeria on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if you want to follow my humble self, William Uzoma, I'm William Uzoma on Instagram and Facebook. You can drop me a line every now and then. Remember, as I always say, if you want to see any interesting person on this program, do well to reach out to me, and I'll do my best to bring that person your way. Until we come your way, same time, same frequency, same network. As I always say on this program, continue to keep a positive mind, and the sky might just be the beginning of your success growth. Bye, guys.